with interest, but he listens too.
All right, rise and shine. It's Merlin Collects time, and we got Dan, the Great Curator. We are back from the Dallas Card Show, and don't be surprised if weird things are happening to our show right now. Dan keeps going in and out and giving me long pauses, so I don't know when he's serious or not. But we're exhausted. It was super hot in Texas, wasn't it, Dan? And yeah, we've got a lot to talk about being in Texas and being at the Dallas Card Show. So anything else you want to say, Dan?
No, but I think I've completely lost control of all the little buttons that we can press here. So, yeah, so you're going to have to control things on your end here.
Okay.
And I might come in and out, but whatever, we'll just go with it. Fuck it. All right, let's get into the show. Let's talk about the big story coming out of Dallas, which is
you sold $20,000.
No, I wish.
Okay, dang it. There he goes. Oh my goodness, boy, the Great Curator needs some great internet service. That's for sure. He went out and in, so let's let him know. What's up, guys? Okay. So everyone, what's up? Mark the Collector, Zup Chili, Papa Jim. A fun time in Texas? Question mark. You were there with me, buddy. Can you not remember if you had a good time? I had a great time with Papa Jim this weekend. He hung out with me. We did some bonding. Had a good time. Adrian, stop pirating internet, Dan. I know that's what he's doing. You've got to do something about the pirating your internet, dude. You need to get some real internet.
I have real internet. I think it's on your side. I think it's on
it's not on my side, dude. I have the landline. I have the fastest internet.
Okay, I don't know what's going on. It is what it is, guys. Just deal with it, okay? Anyways, so let's go. Where was I? Let's talk about the story coming out of Dallas, which is the big. Some people are using the term heist, but I don't want to call it that. It was a theft, because I feel like I'm going to get into this, but I feel like people are almost like glamorizing what happened to an extent. Okay.
And in regard, you mean they just think that since
we'll get into
that a heist, that it makes them like cool what they did?
Well, let's I'm going to save that first. Let's just give a real quick recap in case you haven't been following the news. Very unfortunately, there was a big robbery at the Dallas Card Show. At the end of the show, a dealer, I don't personally know this guy. I've seen him around at all the shows, but I don't know him. But he deals like with high-end vintage cards, and apparently he had one of his cases, his Zion cases, stolen by a group of people that were, apparently planned a really elaborate, robbery by distracting them and stealing their Zion case. But apparently in that case contained nearly $2 million worth of inventory, which is crazy. Okay. So that story has been all over the hobby news in the last couple of days. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. I was, in that surveillance video that they show, I was actually there. I was still there.
You were still there when it happened?
Yeah, you can see, my wife in the video in the top right corner. She's walking up and down because we were cleaning. So we were there. I don't really show up in the video, but my wife is there. Stefan, who was there with us, we were there. Basically, we were just like 2 rows over when that whole thing happened. And I can just tell you from my perspective being there, I mean, it was like very casual atmosphere. It wasn't like nobody was running around, nobody was yelling, nobody was trying to do anything out of the ordinary. So definitely those guys that planned and did that, they definitely knew what they were doing for sure. But there's a couple interesting stories that come out of this, okay, that I want to kind of talk about. Number one is, first of all, I think those guys, as sophisticated as they may have seemed to do that, I just don't see any end game for those guys to take those type of cards and be able to move those cards or liquidate those cards or do anything with them without the hobby knowing. Because those type of cards, they're all vintage cards, they're all graded cards, they're all super high end. Like there were 3 Mickey Mantle rookie cards in there, right?
Yeah, I think more than I think there was actually 4. There was 3 and then another one.
And they were all, and those cards are very distinct looking. Like from the picture, one Mickey Mantle has a crease right down the middle. So, you know, I feel like those cards, all those cards will be easily identifiable. I feel like because news spreads so quickly in the hobby that no shop owner, no dealer, nobody with that type of money to buy those type of cards would not know that those cards are stolen. Right? No, you know, not know that those cards are not belong to those guys and that they're stolen. It's just impossible to move or liquidate those type of cards, right? And if you try to go to anybody else outside the hobby, like maybe a pawn store, or somebody, maybe, you know, like nobody has that type of money to spend $2 million worth of cards. You know what I mean?
That's crazy, dude.
And even if you just kind of like piece them out, they're still very high end cards. So what the hell those guys thinking? You know what I mean? It just really makes no sense. And some people were saying like you could crack the cards and stuff like that, but then, you know, again, those cards are pretty identifiable based on the markings on them and things like that. That I just don't see how these guys get away with it. I think they're going to get caught pretty soon. I think they're probably
have their faces, right?
Oh yeah, and their faces, they didn't even, you know, unless they were wearing a mask or something. I mean, their faces are pretty clear. Somebody's going to identify them. I mean, with the ability of the internet to search people, they're going to be found in a matter of days, you know. And so I just don't understand what they were thinking, right? Like if you're going to steal cards, it would be a lot easier to steal smaller value cards and just kind of like move in and out, right? But to steal one case with $2 million worth of inventory of very, very specific high-end cards that all have been, you know, documented, taken pictures of in the PSA registry, all that kind of stuff, it just doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? So I think those guys are going to get caught pretty soon. But there's a couple things that I want to kind of discuss around this story, which I find interesting and concerning. Okay. Number one. All right. I think the interesting thing about this is how the insurance is going to play out on this, right? Because let's just assume that guy has insurance on those cards. Like he's a high-end dealer, right? Let's just say. I feel like this is definitely going to test the collectible insurance companies if he tries to file a claim on this, because no way they want to pay out a $2 million claim. You know what I mean? But I've seen people use the collectible insurance before for like mail theft and things like that. I actually had a friend who had a card stolen in the mail, and he got a police report saying that it was stolen. And then the collectible insurance actually paid him out on that. It was like $15,000 that they paid on this. But this is a huge claim, you know, $2 million. I feel like the insurance company is going to find a way to kind of screw this guy on any type of claim that they do on this. And that, and I think if that happens, that's going to definitely put a big question mark on whether this whole insurance, collectible insurance market is even like legit or not. What do you think about that?
No, I know I do. And I mean, that's another thing. My girlfriend even questioned, like, oh, it could have been like them doing it to themselves to get insurance, because we've heard that many times before.
Whoa, I didn't even consider that. You think? No, I'm not going to say.
I don't think so, but I'm just saying.
I don't want to spread those type of rumors.
No, that's horrible. But still, they're going to like investigate that too. You have to. That's just procedure. That's just procedure. And there are bad. They seem like very good people. They're always really good to me. I see them all the different shows all over the country, out here in Burbank and stuff. And they're really, there's an entire family that work at this booth, and they're all super nice guys and really nice.
No, I
don't think it is, but that could have. There could be people that could happen too. Hopefully not. Especially these people's faces. Why would people want to get arrested when they're showing their faces if that happened? It'd be a little more clever.
If they had a bunch of like crazy cards that were speculations, like I don't know, Mac Jones high, RPA card that they spent a lot of money on, I could see why I could see a scenario where they could
Mac Jones
decide that they want to kind of fake a theft, but because the insurance
company, Mickey Mantle's.
The way the insurance companies work is they pay you based on what you paid for the item, not what the market value of that item is. I talked to
correct. Yes, that's true.
I have collectible insurance, and I talked to them about that, and that's how they kind of explained it to me. So if that was the case, maybe, but this is all like high-end, rare vintage cards that anybody they could sell those instantly if they want to. Right at the right.
No, and if you see the pictures, they had price tags on every item.
Yeah.
So you see the value of everything, especially those mantles. Like some were like over $100,000 for sure, wasn't it? Weren't they?
Yeah. But what is really crazy about this too, to me?
What?
Okay, is it seems like this was a whole planned out thing, and these guys that were the suspected. Criminals were like very sophisticated with their plan to do this. But you know what really kind of stands out to me? Okay. In that room, in the Dallas card show,
main room,
there is literally millions of dollars of cash that is being exchanged between all around.
Yep.
So if you're trying to commit a crime, why don't you just steal the bags of money that people walk around with? You know what I mean?
Thanks a lot, Dan. Thanks for letting everybody know now.
It just makes no sense that these guys would
just hand it to
steal those cards when it would have been just way easier to steal the cash that is floating around at the show. Then they wouldn't have to be worried about trying to liquidate it and things like that. But that just shows you how kind of stupid those guys are. They're probably in the hobby.
The robbers, right?
Right. They're probably in the hobby, and I don't know. They thought
they know.
They thought they could easily, liquidate these cards, but they're gonna get caught, dude.
But here's another question. If you've got the money to sell those type of cards, like that expensive, and we're always next to say golden auctions and stuff, who don't even have that, even though they have a lot of expensive stuff at their booth, they don't have that much money like at that booth. Yet there are 2 or 3 security guys armed at all times right there. If I had whatever's happened is done. I feel bad for them, but man, what are you thinking? If I had that much money, I would at least have 1 or 2 armed security guards at all time, because that is a lot of money. And I would be freaking out. Would you, Dan? Would you do the same?
That is also a very good point, because I thought about that too. It's Golden, like Ken Golden, when he's going around doing the TV appearances and stuff, right? He's carrying rare memorabilia. It's I don't think it's $2 million worth, but he has security guards.
Yes.
Right. And even at the National, they bring freaking vaults that they carry with them, and they put it there. But nobody, I've never seen anybody have a security guard at their table at a card show.
Well, how many booths have $2 million worth of cards?
And that's the thing too. It's if you would have asked me if I would have walked by his booth, did I think that there was $2 million worth of stuff there? I'd probably say no, right? Unless I sat there and I calculated everything. But I mean, that just kind of that just like raises the question of how careless is that, right? As a business owner, should you be walking around with $2 million of inventory at a public show like that? You know what I mean?
Yes.
And should you put all that in one case? You know what I mean?
No, I mean, I don't know. Because I mean, maybe these robbers realized that these guys are just too like comfortable in their environment
Possibly.
and just waited for their guard to be down, and that's when they took advantage of them.
Yeah, I think that this is definitely gonna cause a shakeup in the hobby, because I still feel like these guys are gonna get caught for sure. That's number one. But I just feel like in terms of how people conduct their business at card shows, they're definitely gonna have to change their procedures a little bit for sure. I mean, not everybody, because not everybody carries that type of inventory. Like my wife, she said, "Oh man, they were there. They could have got you too." And I laughed out loud. I was like, "Nobody can steal my shit."
So did you realize it happened when you were there?
No, not until I was
after the fact.
Not until I was at the airport.
Oh, really? Okay.
Because, and I don't even think they realized it happened until a little bit afterwards, because I mean, I left at like 4:30 and I didn't see police there. I didn't see a commotion or anything like that. So I don't know when they actually found it out, but I definitely think that after all this is done, these type of people that carry really high end inventory, they're definitely going to have to look at their security procedures. You know what I mean? And figure out what is the best way to protect themselves against a situation like this and other possible future situations. You know what I mean? Because like when you're at a card show, the way that it usually works that we're concerned about is we're concerned about people just grabbing something and grabbing one card and running away, right? Or opening up your case when you're not looking and running away. We don't really think that somebody's gonna canvas you for a couple days and distract you and then try to steal your case after you've packed everything up. That's that's like a whole new level of thief that we've never seen before at a show before. But here's one thing that here's a concern that I have about this whole situation, okay, that I want to share. So after this happened, right, every content creators making stories, I think Neo's one of the first guys to talk about it, and making videos. If you go on YouTube, you see a bunch of videos, everybody's talking about it. My friend, who's not even in the hobby, called me and he's like, "Hey dude, I heard about this theft at the Dallas card show. Do you know anything about that?" And my friend is not in the hobby at all.
Really?
And I was like, "How did you hear about that?" And he's like,
"How did they hear?"
It showed up on my my X feed. And I was like, "Oh, damn. So this story is going viral right now." Okay?
Yeah.
And the concern I have, okay, is not that people shouldn't be reporting about this, because we have to share the story and we want it to kind of go viral. But I just feel like now the cat is out of the bag. This story is so big and it's being shared so many times, and so many people are making videos about it, that it's getting out there, right? And it's only a matter of time before real legit criminals figure out that these card shows not only have items that are worth a lot of money, but also other things, cash and other type of things that are worth stealing, right? And it's only a matter of time before real criminals or people that just don't care about the rule of law decide to prey on these shows and our community and us. You know what I mean? So that is definitely a big concern, because the security at these shows is not that great, if I'm going to be honest. Like, they have cameras, but cameras are only good after the fact. They have police officers that are walking around, but there's only a couple of them that are walking around. And what are they going to do if a bunch of people come in there and grab a bunch of shit and run away, like these smash and grab that we have here in California and other places, right? What are they gonna? They don't patrol the parking lots. What's gonna happen when people are loading up their cars and getting out of there and they get robbed in the parking lot when there's nobody around, right? So my point is, like, now I feel like the hobby is definitely exposed for what it is, and real criminals are gonna like take note of that and find easy ways to kind of take advantage of that. You know what I mean? What do you think?
Let's ask Michael Alcorn first. Gramps gave us a $4 super sticker.
Oh, thank you, Gramps.
Yeah, thank you, Gramps. He this is his comment. He goes, as vendors, we must insist on cameras and signs saying everything being recorded. Well, they kind of do there. They do have, if you go to Dallas Card Show, you will see like a little block of cameras almost on every area, every square unit inside the main area. I don't know if they have them in the Starling Room stuff, but in the main area, there are cameras everywhere, and they did have photos or the videos of those guys stealing the stuff. What's your insight on that, Dan?
I mean, there's cameras everywhere already, but they're only good after the fact. You know what I mean? They're not gonna prevent prevent these criminals coming in there and trying to like victimize us. So right. I don't know if that's good enough. I mean, I don't know what you could do. What do you do at these card shows? Do you get like facial recognition technology? Do you get metal detectors? Do you put armed guards at the door? Like, what can you really do in these type of settings to make people feel safe? Like I feel like if I go back to the last card show, I feel like I have to be on guard now. You know what I mean? Because this is definitely the biggest thing.
We're gonna have to hire either Adrian or Papa Jim to be our security guy next time.
Yeah, you gotta have security. But like, do you want to go to a card show where the guy next to you has a security guard? I don't know if I want to be there.
No, but we're always next to Golden, and they know us very well. Even when we were doing content with those guys last year, if we walked off the carpet, those security guys would freak out immediately and tell us to step back on the carpet again. Remember?
I guess with Golden, I just feel like, okay, that's an auction house, so okay, they're gonna have security. But if dudes have like security around me, like dealers, I don't know, that just feels weird to me. You know what I mean?
You have one that could be they could just sit there and to make sure they watch your every move, to make sure when you're fine or when you're unloading and loading. So when you're putting $1 million cards up, they watch you.
This is definitely the biggest thing that's ever happened to Dallas, the biggest theft that's ever happened to Dallas.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
But it's not the first time that bad things have happened to Dallas. It just seems like
there's happened stuff ever since you took me from day one.
I mean, it just seems like Dallas is one of those shows where there's just a bunch of like, scumbags, criminals, whatever you want to call them, losers that are just trying to like take advantage of people. There's always something that happens in Dallas. Somebody gets something stolen.
All right, John Holt. He's got a $2.99 super sticker. Thank you, John Holt.
Appreciate it, John. Thank you.
We're rolling on. These guys really want to chime in on this situation here. John Holt says, there is no way in hell I'm leaving $2 million in cards out of my sight. Doesn't make anything okay, but that would be handcuffed to me. Yeah, so that's another question is like, I'm not trying to like pile on the poor guys that this happened to, but do they... is there any fault on their end for being negligent, with their inventory? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm.
Is that, I mean, should you be putting $2 million worth of cards in a big giant Zion case? Do they not have an Apple tracker in there? Like, what do you do? Do you separate it into like 5 different cases and kind of spread out your risk?
What would you do if you had $2 million in your Saturday morning cards and stuff? I mean, are you gonna hire me and Papa Jim to hold? Would you not want us holding guns at your booth?
Okay, let's role play. Okay,
let's
just say for the sake of the conversation, we're dealers.
And I don't want to hold a gun.
We're dealers, and our inventory is high end, vintage, and it's worth $2 million. And we go to shows, and we make a lot of money at these shows. That's why we have to bring that type of inventory, right? Let's just say we're in that same position. Like, what would you do? I mean, the most convenient thing is to carry it all in one case. I can understand why they would do that, right? And I would also probably assume that they probably think that they're very inconspicuous.
Yes,
it's hard for me to pronounce that. Okay, nobody really knows how much that stuff is worth unless you're in the hobby, and to like 99% of the people in the world, that stuff is not really worth anything, right? Unless you know what it is. Mm-hmm. So there's that. So I guess they were just feeling probably comfortable with how they handle their inventory like that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because nothing bad has ever happened to them like this before. But I would just say I get nervous when I bring my stuff. Like the highest thing that I have would be like, one of my items. I don't even want to say it because I'm gonna make myself a victim if I say what it is, right? But I have an item which I put like a $30,000 price tag on it. Whether it's worth that, much or not, that's up to anybody who I can get to buy it. But it's probably not, guys. Okay, so don't come after me. But
they're gonna have to tenderize you for it.
When I bring that around, I always know where it is. It's always in my case, and I never check my bag. I always carry it with me, right? So, I'm very aware of my one high ticket item, but all my other stuff is like not worth that much, right? We're not in that category as dealers, so we don't really have to worry about it that much. But I guess like it's just more convenient to travel that way versus having to walk around with security, pay security, and have a vault like they do at the National and all these other crazy things. And I guess it's like you run the risk of getting your stuff stolen, and that's just what happened this time.
Yep.
It'll be interesting to see when this is all resolved one way or another. It'll be interesting to see how those guys conduct their business going forward, right?
Right.
Because like you said, those guys a little bit. It's like a family business.
It is.
I know there's a dad. There's like two kids, and
there are a couple guys there, and there's a few kids. There's like
So
I think there's two different families actually.
So I don't know what they'll do. I don't know what they'll do after that, dude. But I definitely think that the hobby is gonna make a big deal about this, and it's definitely gonna change things. I think, and I think that's needed too, to an extent. I feel like this needs to initiate change in the hobby on how we conduct our business. You know what I mean? Like I think the card show, I think the Dallas card show, and I really love those guys, and not to put full blame on them, but I just feel like, they need to look at their own security measures, because this is not a good look for Dallas.
Well, you know what? Maria was surprised though how much security she saw in police at the show. I mean, she's like, "Oh man, this is a big show. There's a lot of security here. I saw like a dozen police officers walking around and security guys."
You know what I bet? There's uniform there's uniform police officers, but I bet you there's undercover guys there too.
There's got to be, yeah,
around, right? But I still feel like this happened on Dallas's watch, so it's not a good look for them. Okay. If I'm the promoter, I'm thinking to myself, crap, why did this happen to me? I need to help this guy out, and I need to figure ways that we need to keep these guys out somehow. I don't know how you do it, I don't know how you can keep these guys from infiltrating these shows and doing what they did, but.
So you think Kyle is stressing out over this too?
A little. I would imagine so, because apparently one of those guys was like, putting chairs away, pretending like he worked there or something like that.
Oh, really? Oh, that was going on too? Oh, wow.
Yeah, I don't know, dude.
Just kind of playing the part.
Yeah, it's definitely a crazy situation how that played out. But I think that shows are going to have to like pay attention to security just to make people feel safe, because if this is happening, I mean, I wouldn't feel safe, you know, like I wouldn't want to go. I wouldn't want to go to a show and have to worry about these things kind of happening. It probably would never happen to me just because nobody wants my stuff, you know. But you know, you know what I mean, right?
All the Saturday morning cards.
I know, right? You know,
oh my goodness.
So that's one thing. But here's the other part I want to talk about real quick. Here is
okay. What is it?
Definitely a lot of content creators are making stories about this.
No, I'm sure they're hungry for something like this, aren't they?
Even us right now, we're talking about this.
Right.
So we're guilty.
But we're there. It's part of our life, you know.
But here's the thing.
We have to talk about it.
Here's the thing that I didn't like. All right, and I was gonna make a post about this, but I don't want to be the guy to like complain about this, you know. But
so you've been thinking all day to make a post, but you decided not to.
Because I saw multiple pieces. I saw content right out there where people were like calling this the Dallas heist, right? They've coined that term, the heist.
Exactly, right.
Or they've compared it to
like Ocean's 11 or something.
Yes, they're comparing it to like Ocean's 11, and they're making light of it and this and that, whatever, right? I just feel like that's glamorizing what happened, and I don't think we should be glamorizing, even if it's like not intended to be that way. It's still, you know, it's just like you shouldn't go there with this right now. Anyways, wait till it gets resolved. Wait till these guys get caught. Wait till the cards are returned back to the owner. But let's not try to glamorize this, because again, I feel like people are going to see this and they're going to be like, oh, dude, those guys are, you know, easy pickings. I can go there and I can do the same thing, right? I just feel like it's inviting more attention onto our hobby, where bad actors are going to come in and they're going to try to do things to us. So, you know, I just feel like those guys shouldn't be doing that kind of stuff. You can talk about it, you can spread the word and detail the facts, but let's try not to kind of try to glamorize it or make light.
And most importantly, I'm glad no one was hurt in the process.
Yeah, you know, that's definitely you know, a good thing that didn't happen, right? Because I mean, if they really wanted to, they could just grab those guys in the parking lot, you know what I mean, and grab their
stuff and then take off.
Yeah. Luckily, those guys were not violent, it seems, if anything. But anyways, okay. So I think we talked enough about that.
Right. If y'all have any comments or any questions regarding this incident,
let's get to some of these comments that are relevant to this topic.
Do I need to do it then?
Yeah.
Okay. Or you just want to start off with them, or you just want to go with the content of it?
The comments of whoever's talking about the theft.
Okay, let's go here. Marvelous cards, Marvel Bunker Collectibles. It's surprising the box was ever out of the hands from the owner at all. Definitely a good time for marketing of security devices and card holder locks, etc., handcuff cases, etc.
Hey, you know, there's some entrepreneur out there that understands how to understand security. This is a problem that needs to be resolved, right? Like, what's a way that we can protect our stuff from this happening, right? Can we get we have people use Apple trackers, so I guess that's one thing. Obviously, these guys didn't do it. I happen to have Apple trackers in all my cases, guys. So if anybody ever walks away with one of my cases, I'm going to find your ass for sure. But is there anything else that you could use besides simple tracking tool, right? Is there like a way that you could make sure that the cases can't be opened no matter what, or something like that, right? I don't know, fingerprint ID or something. I don't know.
Do you? I wonder if they normally or they have offered if there's like some kind of umbrella insurance per show as well. Like when you go to these shows, you have to buy an additional insurance umbrella.
I'm sure there is. There's because I talked to the insurance company, the collectible insurance company, when I was getting my policy, and they said that there's two types of policies. There's a collector policy, like you have your stuff in your house, right? And it's protected if you something happens to it. And then there's a dealer policy where if you travel with your items, you're protected. and if you're at a show, you're protected. But it's more expensive, obviously, because it's a commercial policy. But there's that. But is there anything else like to Marvelous Card's point here? He's saying that he would never let it out of his sight, right? I mean, that's
what they all say, right?
That's easier said than done.
Yes, it's easier.
Like if you're at the end of the show, you pack up everything, you put it in your case,
tired,
and you put it on a chair, and then somebody starts talking to you. You're just gonna get distracted. It just happens.
Right.
It just happens.
It's Sunday. People are tired. The hobby CPA, your buddy says, I think it's cool. The hobby is sticking together on the theft. Some people suck.
Yeah. There are some terrible people out there, which is another thing that this is the thing that I will never understand. I will never understand this about these bad actors, these criminals. It's like, if you've got the balls to commit a crime, upwards of $2 million, which I think this has got to qualify as like a felony, right?
Definitely.
This is probably going to get like the FBI involved on something like this, right?
Ooh, good question.
So, anyways, if you've got the slabs to do something like that, why are you trying to steal cards? You know what I mean? Like, go steal diamonds, go steal something else, go steal cash, go rob a bank. There's got to be.
But people aren't going to have like jewelry out like that with no security.
It just seems like
no one's going to be that lax.
It just seems like these guys are losers to me, dude. It's just like, this is like the stupidest thing. Like, once these guys get caught and they go to jail and they have to go, tell the other inmates what they did to get in jail. You're like, you've talked to your cellmate. These guys are gonna be talking to their cellmates. Oh yeah, I robbed the liquor store, or I killed somebody or whatever. What did you do? What did you do, Stan? Oh, I stole some baseball cards at a card show and I got caught.
Like armed robbery? No, while he was looking away, I just took his case.
Yeah. I thought I stole a 52 Mickey Mantle, and I thought I was going to sell it and get rich. And, it's just the lamest thing to me that's
gang stuff.
That there are human beings out there that would essentially ruin their life over cards, I know,
right? Marvelous Cards, he follows up with, my question is, why in the F was the case away from all the workers and locked up? It was many feet away near an area where someone could grab it. Very odd. Was Dallas an inside job? LOL.
I think the answer to that is, I just think that the atmosphere is very relaxed. People are very casual there, and obviously it creates a huge security risk. From the story that they told, one guy was distracting two of the workers on one end of the table, and somebody else was distracting the owner of the cards on the other end of the table, and then the third guy just walked in there. So I just feel like it's just a very casual, relaxed atmosphere.
So there were a few people in this job.
3, I think. 3 is what they're saying. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
3 like middle-aged dudes that have nothing better to do.
They were? You sure they were like middle-aged, you think?
They got to be in their 30s and 40s. Okay. I would imagine. Gotcha. I would imagine. But they're definitely not. They probably thought they were smart, but showing their faces. One guy has like tattoos on his leg that are very identifiable.
I saw that, right?
It's like these guys.
Oh, and so he had like shorts on. You can see his legs.
Yes.
See, that wasn't smart.
Yes, these guys are not.
If you've got things like that to identify with, then I would be covered up from head to toe.
These guys are not. They're not master criminals, dude. They just had the balls to go in there and grab the case and casually walk away.
So do you think it was coincidental or planned?
It's planned for sure.
Okay.
Right? Because apparently they were like planning this the whole show, but they showed their face. They showed their face
and their legs and their tattoos.
They showed their tattoos. They grabbed cards that they're never going to be able to move. It's just a matter of time.
Our buddy Patrick Mandak, he says the hobby is about to utilize their Second Amendment rights. Dan.
That's Texas. I mean, that's Texas. I've never
I don't know if
seen
I'd be
anybody.
comfortable seeing guys with guns all in 1,000 of them.
Texas has an open carry
Yes.
law, right? Mm-hmm. But I've never seen anybody with a gun at the show.
No, me either.
I don't know if they're allowed to do it
No, they are.
But I've never seen anybody have one.
No,
but even then, the gun's not going to help, in a situation like this. You know what I mean?
Well, you could see someone like stop, but was any? They had already taken off when people realized it, or did they know they were walking off with it?
Yeah.
Did they?
Yeah, they didn't even see them walk out.
Okay, so they didn't know until after the fact, and then they rewound the cameras and saw the guys, right?
Yeah,
basically. Yeah. Poor guys.
Any other comments?
Let's see. John Holt says, "There's no way in hell I'm leaving 2 million cards on my side. Doesn't make anything, but that's okay. We'll be handcuffed." Yeah, everybody's just talking about handcuffs. Marvelous cards again. Perfect time to open a collectible security company. Open carrying AK and AR pistols and boomsticks. I don't want people walking around with AKs and AR pistols.
That's what I'm saying. If people start hiring security guards, are you going to be comfortable about that? I don't know, dude.
No. Just a couple. We don't all need them, but yeah, it's just crazy. And then how if there's someone that's innocent, like our buddy GM Fired, who they thought did something wrong, and they shoot him, who didn't do anything. Yeah,
let's not go down that path.
I know, but I'm just saying that could happen. People can get a little too trigger happy.
Next comment here.
Okay, here's Cooter. He goes, IMO, all the influencers posting videos of them showing thousands of dollars of cash changing hands is the biggest risk. You don't need a fence for cash. Well, that's what Dan pointed out, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're going to go through all that trouble to commit a crime, you should have just taken the bags of cash. I'm sure that guy, I guarantee you that same dude probably had a bag of cash. He offered a $70,000 reward. So the guy's not poor. Okay.
No,
and
you can't pay with that many cards.
Apparently he bought 3 of those Mickey Mantles that were stolen at that show.
So at Dallas show?
He probably had, hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash on him, which is crazy.
Gee whiz.
Real quick, I want to talk about that real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
Another thing I try not to talk about. I don't want to be the guy that complains about this stuff all the time, but there are a lot of kids that just love to flash cash at these shows.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And sometimes I get it. Like, you do a deal and you want to make content and you want to put all the cash. I've done it before. It's not like,
right.
But it's at some point it gets to be too much. At one Dallas show, it wasn't at this one, but at one Dallas show, I've seen people put probably like $50,000 in stacks of $100 bills on a little rotating display. I took a picture of it one time. They put it on a rotating display. They put a glass case over it, and they're like, and it had a big sign that said buying on it. Right? I've seen that. I've seen people that spread money out inside the display case and put a big sign that says buying $100 bills across there. So it's like that does get glamorized way too much in the hobby, and I feel like that's just a big problem waiting to happen when somebody gets robbed because they see stacks of cash on their table, but it is what it is, right? That's what people like to kind of glamorize.
Oh my gosh, that's just crazy. So KK gets another thing is when the money is that big, there's a chance it will also be an inside employee job. But I don't think it's is. I mean, that can happen, but like we said, I don't think it's in this case, right?
I'd be shocked. I'd be shocked if that was
the case. I'd be so shocked. Okay, and then Papa Jim goes, I'm licensed to carry, but haven't seen any signs about that at the hotel or show. Yeah.
Papa Jim is licensed?
Doesn't he look like it? So I'm saying next time we're going to have Papa Jim for our security.
Yeah, okay.
Here,
I get this one here.
You get it, Dan. You got it?
Yeah.
Having bought many cards from Ash at Dallas. Oh, is that the person? He is more cautious of his inventory throughout the show than most dealers. Oh, I'm sure you would have to be. That's got to be one of the most expensive tables at the entire show. Are you going to start seeing cable locks at shows? They would have gotten very far. They would have got very far if that case was cabled to the table. I mean, they wouldn't have gotten very far.
I mean, maybe that's a new procedure that you're going to see, right?
Yeah, but this is the part where they're packing up though. So what's going to be cabled while you're packing up, trying to move things from the table to your car that you've got to take this inventory back to?
Yeah.
Cooter, the Marriott has posted a prohibition to firearms on the property. That's why you don't see firearms on the show floor. Oh, good to know.
Okay. All right. So I think we talked a little bit enough about that. Let's move on. Hopefully there's some new developments this week, and hopefully those guys get caught pretty soon. But I definitely think that this is gonna make a lot of people rethink how they protect their inventory at the shows going forward. So maybe that will be the one positive thing that comes out of this whole situation. Okay. All right. Definitely. Let's talk about our experience at the Dallas card show. Let's go from a shitty situation to even more.
Someone robbed me.
All right. Go ahead. Tell these guys about your experience. Go ahead. I'll let you go first.
It was humbling, say the least.
Why do you say that?
I didn't hardly have any traffic, and the best sales I had was Thursday during like dealer VIP night when there was like absolutely nobody there. Saturday, Friday, no sales whatsoever. Saturday, I had a sale like at 8:00 at night. That was about it. Friday, I had a sale 8:00 at night. And then Saturday, both of them right at closing. Sunday, I sold a $10, but I didn't make enough money to write home about. Definitely, after you think about the overhead, the expenses, the travel there and stuff, it was definitely I paid for a vacation to go to Dallas. Basically,
you did get to spend the week with me, so there's a positive.
Yes, I did. With you and your family and Maria, you will let us over at Austin. So thank God we got to do that vacation with you guys, because I had a blast in Austin, Texas, and Waco, and some of Dallas.
We make the most of it. But why do you think it was like that? Do you have any thoughts you want to
share? Well, I did not know until I got there. There was also Collecticon going on over in Fort Worth, across the city, which is pretty much what our genre is, our wheelhouse, which is pop culture or just non-sports stuff. So I think a lot of our buyers were hanging over there, and they probably just don't want to fool with doing two shows. And so I think it was mostly sports people, and you and I really don't have much sports stands. So that kind of hurt this time.
I think it's a combination of things. There were competing shows. There was Collecticon. There was the Nashville show.
The Nashville's going on too.
4th of July weekend, so probably people out of town on vacation. Mm-hmm. This is a couple weeks before the National. So there's a lot of things that this show had going against it. But I got to say, out of all the Dallas shows I've been to, this one felt way different for me,
It did.
And we didn't attend this show, the one before the National last year, and I heard that was the best show of the year.
It's always the case. Oh my God.
So I was thinking that that was going to be the case this time. I think people were going to buy inventory for the National or whatever. And, my experience was similar to yours. I didn't make a ton of sales. I mean, I sold a lot of stuff, but I didn't make a lot of money. I don't know. I had a weird experience because my SMC stuff sold out.
Yes.
That was very popular.
You brought it.
Right. So I was very happy about selling out of my SMC cards. I made a really awesome trade. I sold all my dollar cards, $400 cards. I traded
all those
to Jesse for a bunch of Transformers. Which, can I just show one off real quick?
Yes, please. Why don't you? You get those on. I can't believe you were able to bring those on the plane. How did you get those over here?
Look at this, Devastator, baby! I traded $400 cards for this and a bunch of Dinobots, and it was awesome. So this is probably my best deal This
Did
is
that thing
probably
go
my
through
best
TSA?
deal from the Dallas Card Show. I totally tenderized Jesse
there it goes.
into taking my inventory so that I could get this from him, and I guess he was happy to do it because he didn't want to take this thing home. So, this thing's about to fall apart. So,
how'd you get that thing home? How'd you get through TSA? Is what I want to know.
I hand carried it. I hand carried the thing. It was not
by its own seat.
It was not easy, but let me show you a couple other ones. I just need to show
okay.
Just to lighten the mood a little bit.
Sure, please do. This is why people watch the show.
So I got a Jetfire out of the deal, okay, and I got all the Dino bots. I'm not going to show them all off. Okay, I think this is what's his name, Slag or something like that. But I got all the Dino bots, and then I got a Raphael Ninja Turtle Super 7 toy. So great deal for me. Great deal for me. So that was pretty cool. That was my best deal. Also, you weren't there, but at the end of the show, I traded my Mike Tyson PMG for a Flash Gordon 1-of-1.
Oh my God! Is it Sam Jones?
A Charizard 1999 base hollow from the Unlimited set, and then this Michael Jordan patch auto right here. Pick that up.
Whoa! The North Carolina logo on it.
Yeah, so it was like a $3,000 trade, basically, kind of like that. So I did manage to salvage the show for me, but I think the highest sale that I had was like $250 for one of my cards. So it wasn't a great show. It wasn't what I was hoping Dallas to be. Plus, they changed the format of their trade night, which really sucked. Yep. Really sucked. Like, one of the best aspects of the Dallas Card Show was their trade nights were just so wild. They were like another card show. So after the card show ended, the trade nights would be another card show that would go till like 3 a.m. every night. It was wild. But I guess they shut that down because the fire marshal said that people can't be in the hallways. So they moved us into like an even more cramped space where they use the meeting rooms as different rooms for people to set up. And it kind of like segmented the trade night in different areas. And it just totally killed the vibe for me. Mm-hmm. So I didn't like that at all. Our section, the lights went out overhead. So it was dark the whole weekend. So that sucked.
Just a lot. What happened?
Yeah.
Oh, there's a sign. That was a sign.
and another thing that kind of I didn't like is a lot of our friends that we're normally used to seeing are not there anymore. Know, like Jake, who usually sits across from us, he's not there anymore, right?
Yeah, Golden wasn't there. DCI is not there anymore.
And then apparently the new people that took their place that are sitting next to us now are bringing their entire house with them because they set up these huge like things that look like apartments. They set up these giant cages where they basically block us in. Nobody can see us anymore. We're on the corner. That's really annoying.
It's getting bigger and bigger to a point like I'm getting kind of claustrophobic at our booth.
Can't move around, So there's a lot of different aspects that are changing. But I just feel like, I mean, I talked to you about this while we were there. I just feel like it's time to transition out of being a show vendor for us. Mm-hmm. I've been talking about this for a while, but now's a good time for me to basically kind of pivot and shift my attention to building Saturday morning cards. And I just feel like the Dallas show was a good sign, a wake-up call or a sign, whatever you want to call it, that say, okay, Dan, time to get out, right? So my plan, I don't know about you, I don't want to speak for you, but my plan is basically just kind of put all my inventory on eBay, let it sit there. It sells whenever it's going to sell. I might do some local shows like this weekend. I'm going to be at the premiere show. Things that doesn't cost me a lot of money to go to. I'll do that, but I don't think I'm going to be traveling to any shows for the rest of the year, except for the National. But even at the National, we're walking the show. We're not set up there, right? I'm not going to be traveling to any other shows for the rest of the year. That's my plan, anyways. As I shift my attention or put all my efforts into Saturday morning cards.
Well, look what happened when we just set up we didn't even set up at Culture Collision, and we just shot content and stuff there, and we did trade night, and we sold more than we usually do at other shows, just doing trade night.
Yeah, that's another
We
thing.
had a good time. We were happy.
Yeah, we can just go to shows and set up a trade nights, but we don't have to be vendors anymore.
No.
I don't know. I just, like, it just doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for me anymore, and I need to find a different outlet to put my energy into, because I don't want to be like, I don't want to turn into one of those guys that feels like they're bitter. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. Well, I don't want us to look like a bunch of carnival carnies. Gypsies going around, and you see everybody just aging progressively.
It's not fun. It's not fun anymore. So I don't. So I'm not going to be going to the Dallas shows for the rest of the year. You know, we have our tables, so we can always change our minds. But I'll probably just like sell off my tables or something to the next guy and let them do that, and then try something else. I want to try something. I might set up I don't think there's a collector con this year, but the next collector con in LA, I'll set up at that.
No, we definitely need to do it. That was my best one so far.
Yeah. So right now, right now, I think the thing I'm looking forward to right now is the National and Comic-Con. Before we get into our plans about that, anything else you want to wrap up about the Dallas Card Show?
Yeah, I mean, there just wasn't much traffic. I mean, Friday, I feel like, was the most packed, and then Saturday, it just started dying down. I think a lot of people just came over Friday, since that was the day after the holiday, and that was kind of like everybody's Saturday. So that made it Saturday everybody's Sunday at that point, if you think about it. And then Sunday, I don't know. I only stayed for like an hour or two, so I don't know how you did after I left. But it was just, I don't know, maybe people are just getting exhausted from it. Maybe there's like show fatigue in Dallas too. But you can't make these people like quit. You can't make Kyle and Dallas Card Store people just quit having shows, because he has such a big staff and crew that people are dependent on that money. So, you got to put yourself in his shoes, that you can't just like, okay, just to satisfy these vendors. No, because he's not going to have any trouble selling our table if we let it go.
No, he's got a good business for sure.
Yeah.
A couple years ago, the Dallas Card Show was the biggest show in the country.
It's still kind of
now it's there. No. There are shows that are just as big as Dallas.
Really? Who?
Why are you asking me that?
Burbank Card Show?
Yes.
Okay.
Burbank, Culture Collision. Apparently this Nashville show is pretty big. Chantilly's pretty big. So there's more options available now. And I think that's definitely kind of hurt the Dallas Card Show in a bit. But again, this is just from our perspective with the stuff that we have. Apparently, if you're like a vintage dealer or anything else, you probably do very well at the Dallas Card Show. But for us,
I talked to a lot of people who have nothing but sports, and they all did. I heard they did very well.
I think it's just time to move on. I just think it's time to move on to something else, which is what I'm looking forward to, the National and then Comic-Con after that, and then after that, you're just going to see me talking about SMC for the rest of the year, pretty much.
Now, do you think you will have, like, since you're working so hard on the SMC brand, would you have an SMC booth, like say like Dallas or Nashville or any places like this, or Culture Collision?
I mean, we could. I could sell a ton of shit for sure.
Yeah, right.
But honestly, we don't need to at this point, because we sell out online.
Okay.
And so the inventory, I purposely brought 30 boxes to Dallas to sell, because I was going to be there anyways. But I didn't need to go to Dallas to sell those 30. I could have put those up on our website and they would have sold out within a day. So probably not, to be honest. Like, if we do any shows, like we'll do Burbank Card Show, because it's in my neighborhood, and it'll be great marketing for us. But I don't see us setting up at Culture Collision or anywhere where we'd have to travel. Even the National, I don't think SMC. I don't know. Maybe we'll see.
I'm not gonna see you squeezed in between Gary V and Cards HQ. You know?
I don't know. Maybe wouldn't that be wild? You know, I feel like I would sell a ton of cards at the National, but is it? Do I need to go out there? Do I need to go out to Chicago and ship all that stuff out there? I don't know. That's a problem I'll have to kind of think about next year. You know what I mean? If we're big enough by that time.
No, we're gonna be driving a big U-Haul cross country, dude. That's what we'll
if you help me, yeah, okay, we'll do it. Okay. You need to join the SMC team, and then you can help me do these kind of things.
We're gonna just go across the country, do it.
Yeah. So, anyways, let's transition to our plans for the National. We finally solidified our plans, guys. Everything's already booked. We are going to be going to the National from Wednesday to Friday. So if you guys are there, come check us out. If you want to do deals with us, we're not set up, but we will be around so we can do deals, and we will be at trade nights for you guys doing that kind of stuff. We'll be going to different events.
Right.
Gramps, I heard you were upset that me and Merlin are going to wrestling trade night.
Yes.
You're welcome to come. You're welcome to come. If not, you can hang out with us during the day or whatever. But we'll be doing the National from Wednesday to Thursday. And I think our goal there is
Wednesday to Friday.
I'm sorry. Our goal is to shoot content, make some deals, and make some connections for future projects that we have in the hobby. And then after that, this is what I'm super excited about, guys. I don't even care about the National, to be honest. This is what I'm excited about.
What?
Saturday morning, we're going to be flying out real early in the morning to get to San Diego for San Diego Comic-Con all day Saturday, all day Sunday. And I'm super excited about that because that's nerd culture. That's nerd heaven for me. And I'm hoping that I'll have a lot of money that I can spend there. I'm hoping somebody will buy my big cards at the National, and then I can go and I can turn that into some original artwork at San Diego Comic-Con, or just buy a bunch of toys or something. I don't know. We're gonna have a great time.
Have you ever done any trading or sales wise from your end at Comic-Con?
It doesn't work that way. Like,
I know, that's why I was asking.
Yeah, no, it doesn't work.
I've never seen that happen.
No, if you try to bring your stuff, they will like GameStop you. They'll give you like 20% value on your stuff if you try to ask them to buy things. It's not like that at all.
It's like serious tenderizing.
It's not a transactional show. You go there to buy stuff and just have fun. It's not, you don't go there to try to make money.
So there's nobody there trying to sell their comic books and stuff.
There are, but they're going to tenderize you for sure.
Right.
Like those guys, and they'll piss you off. It'll piss you off how much they lowball you. So I don't even go there. I tried it a couple times, but it doesn't work.
So it's not like the National is what you're saying.
No, it's not a transactional show. It's
not
more like it's an entertainment show. You go there, you go there for shopping and to get swag and to see all the things,
Q&As and stuff.
I don't do that just because I don't want to wait in line all day for that kind of stuff.
I've done all that before. It's terrible.
Yeah, so I'm just going there looking for original art. I'm going there to look for awesome toys and original artwork. That's what I did last year, and I loved it. I had so much fun, so I'm hoping to do that again. And then we'll be in downtown San Diego, so we can hang out. We'll go to like restaurants, bars, and it'll be a good time.
Oh my goodness! So yeah, so you need to sell some stuff at trade nights when we're in the National and use that money to buy some original art at San Diego Comic-Con.
Yes, I will be. If anybody wants to take advantage, I will be pricing things. Okay, for sure. So let's do some deals, especially if you're from the UK, because I got a lot of pounds. I've got British pounds that I have to spend. So if anybody is from the UK and they want to do a deal, I can pay you in pounds. Okay, your currency.
All right, John Holt added another 99-cent super sticker.
All right,
in the 99-cent store. He goes, Dan, let's get some tenderizing content in golden hour deals. I guess at both shows.
Okay, I'll get it done. I will try to get it done for you, John. We'll see if I can tenderize some people at a trade night at the National for sure.
Oh boy, there we go.
Okay, anything else you want to talk about before we move on from?
No, so you're you're going to be at the premiere show on Saturday. You're going to be selling what? The Winnie the Pooh cards?
Maybe I might have a few left, but I'll just kind of set up and hang out. I don't know. Jay asked me to go, so I said, all right, I'll do it. I got to go out there anyways to pick up some things. So I'll just kind of be out there a little bit.
Okay.
Maybe I'll get lucky and I'll sell something. I don't know.
I hope you're lucky.
I'm just basically hanging out. At this point, I'm just basically hanging out with people at these shows, because there's not much going on for me. What was those last? Let me give you guys a Saturday morning cards update for anybody that's curious.
Yes, please do.
I got back Sunday, and as you can tell, I'm super tired still for my trip because I have been shipping nonstop. Yeah. So I'm hoping to get everything shipped out by this Friday. So you're going to be seeing a lot of Saturday morning cards content on Instagram as people start opening their boxes and chasing all the sketch cards and golds and everything like that. So that's the update here. And then I'll tell you this, I'm very excited. Once we get through shipping and fulfilling these orders, once we let people open their boxes, and once the one-of-ones and all the rare cards get pulled, then we will make the next announcement for the next release, hopefully by end of July is what I'm hoping.
Nice.
So our next release is already here, guys. We just gotta let the Winnie the Pooh release kind of cycle through, and then we'll get to the next one, which I am personally super, super excited for. It's something that I really love, and I can't believe that I was able to put it together and make a card of this. And I think people are really going to enjoy it.
And when you say we're going to find out somewhere in the next few weeks?
Yes, at the end, hopefully the last week of July, I'll make that announcement, and then we'll do the pre-orders just like we did last time. And I think it's going to sell out. If it's anything just like Winnie the Pooh, I think it's going to sell out. So definitely keep track of what we're posting on Saturday morning cards, guys. If you don't already follow us, shame on you. Go to Instagram. Make sure you follow Saturday morning cards to get up to date. And if you don't want to use Instagram, that's okay. You can sign up for our mailing list. So we always send out emails prior to making any announcements on Instagram, guys. So just join our email list, be part of the Saturday morning cards club. It's free, and you get an email and you get early access to our releases, early previews, and everything like that.
So the next, because we're not set up the National, we're not set up at Comic-Con. So the next big show you're setting up with, this will be your first kind of pretty much debut booth with Saturday morning cards at the Burbank show, the end of August. Does that mean there'll be like exclusive cards you're going to be selling just at the Burbank show?
Well, I was going to save that as an announcement, but you just told everybody, yes, there will be exclusive cards at the Burbank Card Show.
We got to get people to get to the Burbank, so we got to start plugging this. So I need to know.
Yes,
there will be time to come.
There will be exclusive releases at the Burbank Card Show. We're going to announce it in the coming weeks for that. I just got to wait for Winnie the Pooh to kind of cycle through. Right. Then I got to wait for the next release to cycle through, and then we'll make our announcements around that time. So maybe like first week of August, maybe last week of July, first week of August is when we'll start making those announcements. So you guys are definitely, if you're fans of the cards that we've made, you're going to love these ones that are going to be exclusive to the Burbank Card Show. If you're not going to the Burbank Card Show, all you got to do is just pay somebody to get it for you. Super easy, okay? You don't have to actually be there. Just pay somebody to pick it up for you. You can order it and just pay somebody or ask somebody, a friend, to pick it up for you, and I'm sure they'll get to do that. Maybe Merlin, if Merlin wants to start a concierge service, okay, pay him $30. He'll pick it up for you guys, okay? I'm just putting it out there right now.
Oh, my gosh, right? I'm screwed now, man. Thanks, Dan.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask you a follow-up, too, with the Dallas Card Show. We didn't even really talk about the trade night, like how everything was kind of weird. I feel like
talk about that. You were playing on your phone and you ignored me, but we did talk about that. Yes, it was all messed up.
I'm like James Lowe.
Yeah, it was all messed up. I didn't like it at all. Apparently, it smelled really bad there too. I didn't want to comment on that, but Papa Jim brought it up. I'll highlight the comment right there. He's the one who brought it up. But yeah, Lord. Trade night sucks. If that's the way that they're doing their trade nights from now on, I think it's dead to me. It's like it's not going to work for sure.
I heard it because when we were gone in May that they had so many people in the lobby in the opening hallway that's connected to the garage. So when regular people were coming in that weren't affiliated with the card show came in, they couldn't get to the checkout desk or check-in desk, and someone complained, and that's why we got pushed in the back.
Yeah, I mean, but it's a card show. I don't know what they're complaining about. It's like the hotel makes a lot of money out there. Like
they do, right?
Get over it. Let me tell you something. If anything ever happens at the Dallas Card Show, if they move locations or they just shut down, that hotel is screwed. That hotel is screwed because why would anybody ever want to go to Allen, Texas for anything other than the Dallas Card Show? You tell me, what is there in Allen, Texas that you would go to the Marriott Convention Center for, right? I don't know. I don't think they have anything else.
No, that's it. Except that mall across the street. That's about it.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move on from that. Okay. Do you want to show anything off before we get into the?
Yeah, let me just show two fun things. Did you get to watch Money in the Bank, Dan?
I didn't, but I watched. I know the highlights, so I know what happened.
Okay, well, first of all, everybody's just raving about Jacob Fatu from the Bloodline.
I think he sucks, dude. I think.
Oh wow. For real,
I'm just gonna say that
all the critics are like praising him.
I think he sucks. I think the other guy, what's the other guy? Tonga?
Solo? Tonga Toa?
Tonga Toa definitely sucks.
And then Manga Toa?
Who's the other guy? Who's his brother?
Like Manga Toa or Toa Manga.
That guy's okay. That guy's okay, but this is like the bootleg Bloodline. These guys.
I don't know. People are saying Jacob Fatu is a world champion in the making.
No, I think he's.
You don't think so?
Yeah,
he was insane though.
He's what?
He was insane in that match, man. He was just doing all kinds of crazy moves. You didn't see that?
I haven't watched the match, so I haven't seen the highlights. But
so anyway, that's what I'm getting. I got a few Jacob Fatu cards from wherever he was from. Well, just. They don't cost that much. And then I got an autograph card of him as well that I'm really liking from Pro Wrestling Junkie, autograph card. And then, I love my music and it's baseball. So I got this like one of those like clickbait things on Instagram about these cards. And I was like, oh, this is cool. And it's like hip hop with baseball. And I got these cards of DMX. DMX baseball.
Is that real? Is that a real picture?
I think they're custom made, but I still thought they were cool. I don't think PSA is going to grade these. I could try, but I don't know. I mean, they have like legit information and copyright stuff on trademark stuff on the bottom there, but who knows? I don't know if that's really his face on that body or if it's something like I do with you when I reface images on the reface app or what. I have no clue, but I'll try. On one of them. I'm going to use one as a guinea pig. But still, I think it'll be fun. I'll sell them at the Burbank show.
Yeah.
Anything you have, Dan?
Well, I want to show this off. I also got this at Dallas. Now that I kind of think about it, as much as I complained about like not making a lot of money, I actually made some good trades. I got some good pickups at Dallas. So I showed you the Transformers already. Okay. I showed you the Michael Jordan autograph. Here's another thing that I picked up at Dallas. Perfect timing too, because she just came back last night.
Right, you got that.
My Rhea Ripley fistograph. So if you guys are not familiar with what this is, basically this is a one of those gimmick cards that Topps did, where they got the athlete to dip their fist in ink and then put their imprint here. So this is actually ink. It's not printed or anything like that. This is actual ink from Rhea. She fisted this. I didn't mean to say that.
You did.
Right there. Yeah. So
where's that come from? Like what set is this from?
Undisputed.
It's like a box top thing or what?
Yeah. Topps Undisputed. 2021 Topps Undisputed, which by the way, I think 2021, the last year that they had the license, is probably the best products that they put out with Transcendent and this. So anyway, she signed this. This is an on-card auto. And then the fist right here. So I got my Rhea fistograph. I've been hunting this for a while. I got this from our friend Mike. So that was pretty cool. And then anything I want to show off here, I'll show this off real quick here. I haven't really even opened this.
Now, did you have to pay an arm and a leg for that fifth card?
$500. Paid $500 for that card.
Nothing. That's pretty
good. And it was worth every penny. It was worth every penny to me, guys, to get Rhea's fist in my collection. Anyways, so no, I don't want to show that off. Anything else I want to show off here? No, not really. I don't really have anything else to show. That's pretty much it. I showed you guys everything. Okay. Yeah. So anyways, okay, let's get to these comments here. Here we go.
Mark the Collector, happy Tuesday, party people. Hope everyone had a great 4th. We did, Mark. Thank you. Hope you as well. What's up, Chili? Hello. Papa Jim, a fun time in Texas? Yes, always. Especially you, Jim. Marvelous cards. Hey, brothers. Hope all is well. Thumbs up. Thank you. Adrian, CV Sports Cards. What's up, Texans? It was hot as hell. Or as they say in Texas, hotter than 2 dogs. So you know what? Papa Jim, it was a ton of fun. Enjoyed it, guys. Thank you, Jim. The Hobby CPA, welcome back. Just for Cards PH. Mabuhay from Philippines. Wow. We got someone from the Philippines, international viewer.
Oh, no, I got to screen through a lot of these comments that we went through already.
Go right ahead.
Talking about the theft. I don't want to get back into that.
I hear you. You got to skip over them. Not to repeat. But yeah, keep watching, dude, from the Philippines. Thank you. Hope you can make it out to the States sometime. 562 Slabs. Any of you guys setting up this weekend at the premiere show? Dan, the Great Curator, is. So come look for him. He's got to make up for that Dallas money. Cowabunga Johnny. Can you remind me which grading companies accept SMC, Dan?
Yes, Beckett, CGC, a company called Mana, which I've never used before, but apparently they're pretty popular. Tag accepts it.
Tag does.
Yes. So those are all the ones we have right now. We're waiting for SGC and PSA to get approval. If you guys want either of those companies to do it, message their customer service and demand that they grade SMC, because I think now the way it works, guys, is we have to like tell them who we are. We have to tell them what we're doing, give them samples so that they check it out to make sure that we're like a legit company and not like some like custom card makers or, bunch of, Yahoos or whatever. But what I think it is, I think they just don't think that anybody's going to grade it. So they don't want to spend the time to put it into their system, because obviously they have to pay for the employees and the labor to do that. Right. But if enough people request it, then they say, okay, we can make money grading these, then they'll put it in. So if you guys want PSA or SGC to accept the SMC cards and grade them, and you want to submit it, send a message to their customer service to petition that, and hopefully we'll get their approval pretty soon.
That's right. So what would it take, Dan, pretty much then? Because I feel like you and Paper Jims know, the guys at SMC know a lot of people at PSA even more than you do the other grading companies. So what does it take to get your card to get graded by PSA?
Well, I just said it. It's like they have to see that there's demand,
Well, I know that, but I feel like sometimes it's a little easier said than done.
Yeah. So like if enough people petition them to do it, they'll do it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like if I ask them to do it, they'll probably say, it's a lot of work for us to put it in the system and this and that. So we're going to wait. In fact, that's what they told us. They said, we're going to wait to see how many releases you do before we start accepting the cards. So it's not like they said no to us, but I think what it comes down to is it's a business decision. If enough people petition them to do it and they can make money grading the cards, they will do it. But until that happens, they're not going to waste the man hours and the labor to put all the data into the system if nobody's going to submit it, right? So, and we've only had 2 releases so far, so hopefully enough people request it, where they see, okay, we can make money off of these guys. Let's put it in.
Gotcha. Adrian, TV Sports Cards. We all sell cards. Are people really coming to card shows and dropping $50,000 to $100,000 on cards, or is this just for the show? Or just
people
for show?
Do that. People do that. I've seen it.
So you think if they want to buy one of those $100,000 Mickey Mantle cards, are they bringing the cash? They paying in cash, or are they using like PayPal and Venmo to make this deal?
I've seen it both ways. I've seen them do wires, and I've seen them bring cash. I've seen a guy walk around with a duffel bag full of $100,000 as a flex to show people, So crazy things happen at this show. I mean, I don't want to glamorize it, but crazy things happen where people do that kind of stuff, dude. I would never do that. I would never have the balls to walk into a show with $100,000 in cash.
I know, right?
To try to like buy stuff. I would never do that.
Yeah, I would be so nervous. It's like worse than a drug deal. Derek, I will DM you all at the National when we arrive on Friday. We should do lunch or dinner, Dan.
All right. If you guys want to meet up with us or whatever, Merlin is in charge of the itinerary, so you can DM. Merlin is the person in charge of all that stuff. So talk to him.
I feel like I'm like Teller or whatever, and Penn and Teller, the quiet guy who always gets like tortured during the magic tricks.
I am actually very antisocial outside of this podcast, guys. Okay, so Merlin's the talkative one.
Surprised if Dan looks at you like deer in headlights when you speak to him.
Yeah, I'm very shy. I'm an introvert. I've warned you guys right now. Okay.
Mike Myers is too.
Oh, is he?
Yes, very much. Like he's so outgoing and all that stuff, but yeah, when he's just in his private life, he's very quiet and just like, "Why are you talking to me?" kind of look. Sports Car Professor 7 Orist. Good evening, gentlemen. You too, Orist. Always good to have the bot on the show. Active Collects Christian. We saw him a few times at the Dallas show. He was hanging out at our booth as always. It truly was crazy how many people stank. You would just get smacked by BO. Yeah, when it's 100 degrees.
It was not great, guys. It was not great. Yeah. Going back to the Orist, I thought this was interesting. What's his name? Mr. Minty said he actually FaceTime Orist. So he's actually seen Orist and spoke to him live. And he confirms that he is not an AI robot, but he's an actual person. And that's just how it is. So I thought that was very interesting. Very interesting story.
Wow. That's crazy. I'd like to see what Orist, let's FaceTime, dude. I want to see you. Please. Army ATC, Merlin the manager. Yeah, I guess so. I'm becoming the SMC mascot and private assistant here. I'm going to have to go get the curator's dry cleaning soon. Army ATC, have you seen RBI Crew 7's promos for the National yet? It's right up your alley. Who is that, Dan? RBI Crew 7's? I'll have to check it out. Is that their handle name? I'll check it.
Maybe a card artist or something like that. I'm not sure.
Probably. Oh, yeah. That's a good question. Let's because this brings new content. Do you think we'll see many card artists at the National?
For sure. And it's interesting. I'm glad you brought this up. I feel that there is a cottage industry emerging and growing very quickly in the hobby of card artists. And when I say card artists, I don't mean like, I'm talking about guys like piggy banks, guys that will make mashups of sports and pop culture and other things. They'll mash it up. They'll make the card themselves and they'll put it out there as like a limited edition, one of one, and they'll make like 15, 20 versions of it, whatever. And it'll sell. And they sell for $100 all the way up to like piggy banks cards, which are like at $400, I think now, or $300, something like that. So there's definitely a lot, and there's a lot of guys that are doing it. It's not just piggy banks anymore. It's not piggy banks. It's not Card Carver. It's not just Luke the Cardist. It's a whole bunch of other guys that I don't even know their names, but I see their ads pop up on my Instagram. They pay for like sponsored ads, and I see their cards pop up, and I'm like, oh, that's cool, right? And I know a lot of people are collecting these things now, and a large portion of the hobby is starting to accept these things as collectibles now, which is kind of cool. I even met a guy this past weekend at the Dallas Card Show. I forget what he calls himself, the Card Monocle or something like that. But he makes custom cards, and he was telling me, yeah, you know, I make these things and I sell them for like $125 and whatever, and it's awesome. And I just feel like it's the opportunity for a lot of people is there to make these things right now. So it's very interesting to see how that kind of develops, because a couple of years ago, those things were really looked down upon, right?
I know, right?
As like unlicensed cards and things like that. But now it seems like to be a huge trend that's happening in the hobby. And I don't see it going anywhere, to be honest. I just see more and more people kind of popping up and creating artist handles and producing those cards and things like that.
Yeah, because I spoke with Card Carver. He's actually invited us to come to his opening night at the gallery at the National. He set up a gallery.
Is he going to give you the custom card that you can make? If you guys, I don't want to call it.
Yeah,
I don't want to call him out.
He promises me he will. So let's let him make sure he comes through with that. But he wants us to be at the gallery for him to hand it to me there. So
okay. Card Carver, you better deliver on Merlin's custom order.
I don't
want to hear him complain anymore. You better deliver, buddy.
I believe it. I believe he's going to hand it there because he has a deal with the CGC where they will slab his artwork in the holder. Cool. So we'll see if it works or not.
Yes. And Alex, since you asked that question, I think this is Alex. Correct me if I'm wrong, but there may be a piggy banks drop at the National. Just let you guys just put that out there, guys. If all goes well with the schedule, there may be another piggy banks drop at the National for you guys.
Like a scavenger hunt kind of thing?
I've already said too much.
Okay.
I've already said too much, but we'll see. We'll see.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
The Sports Card Professor 7, Mr. Minty was kind enough to be available. Yes, Merlin, FaceTime will work. Some things to talk about. Love it, Orist. Hit me up like you always do on Instagram. I'll give him my info. I think you have it already, actually. Army, yes, wrestling promos with the new card world order. Wrestling promos, what, at the National?
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah, those guys always hang out at my booth all the time. We always talk about wrestling, so it's good to see them. Army, ATC 22 again. Oh, more piggy banks. Is he going to be at the National or not? He doesn't do that. He doesn't even like to do that either.
He's too busy.
As much fame as he's getting from this world, he's not going to attend the National. He doesn't need to.
He's not part of the hobby. Okay.
Right.
He's mainstream artist. Like he's ascended past the hobby. So but I'll be there. So, you know, for what it's worth.
Okay, I won't push any more buttons. Army ATC, I'm working with him and Slab Strong Tim on a giveaway for one of his old cards.
That's
exactly
cool.
for
RBI.
Or RBC. Oh, he is a card artist. Okay, good to know. I'm gonna check him out once the show's over. Donkeys, did you guys go live from Dallas? No, because we had absolutely nothing to talk about, and we were all turned around at the trade night. Also, Ruben doesn't even work for Dallas Card Show anymore, I don't think. So he's usually a go-to guy. So we were just like, let's just not do it. We'll talk about stuff on Tuesday.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Looks like that's all the comments. All right, let's wrap this up so I can go back to getting orders shipped out.
Oh, look at that. And let's see your hands. You got houses on your hands already?
I got a lot of people anxious to get these cards. So we'll take care of that. Okay. Any last minute plugs? Anything you want to talk about?
Guys, check me out. If you see, I've changed the name as of right now, tentatively, before I start making the logos. It's Merlin Collects. If you think of a better name, this is my interim name as right now, Merlin Collects. Check me out on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube at Merlin Collects. You know me as Merlin, so go find me. Also, like I said, Dan said he's going to be at the Premier Card Show this weekend in Orange County. So check out Premier Cards Show on Instagram and see what the times are at that. And then, like we said, we'll be at the National. I'll be there Tuesday through until Saturday. Dan will be there Wednesday until Saturday. And then we will be at the San Diego Comic-Con on Saturday and Sunday until we finally pass out and need an IV on site to revive us.
Yeah.
Anything else, Dan?
No, that's it. You covered everything, guys. So hopefully next week we'll have a positive report about that theft, and hopefully those guys get caught, and we can talk about that more.
Yes,
but
please.
Appreciate you guys hanging out tonight. Appreciate all the super chat stickers, and we will see you guys next week.
Yeah.
Two nerds wishing they could grow body hair. Comics, cards, and toys, nothing.